Today, we're counting down 5 greater Seattle neighborhoods and East Side suburbs most closely tied to ultra-high-end real estate, major fortunes, and the places where billionaires are known to own property. One name at the top may be obvious, but the order getting there has a few twists. When people talk about billionaire real estate around Seattle, the conversation usually moves quickly across Lake Washington. Seattle has historic mansions, waterfront homes, and high-value neighborhoods, but the biggest concentration of headline-making estates sits on the east side, where private shorelines, peninsulas, bridges, and quiet residential streets shape the market. For this countdown, we're looking at median home values, public reporting around notable estates, and the way each place fits into the broader map of wealth in a Seattle area. Number 5 is Kirkland. Sitting east of Seattle along Lake Washington, Kirkland brings together a waterfront downtown, marina views, neighborhood parks, and a real estate market that has moved firmly into the high-value tier. Its median home value is about $1.68 million per Zillow and Redfin in 2026, which is enough to put it in the conversation even before you get to the lakefront properties. Kirkland is also a larger city than some of the tiny enclaves higher in the countdown, with a population of 92,175 at the 2020 U.S. Census. So the housing stock is more varied in scale and setting. It earns the number 5 spot because it has major east side wealth signals, but it still feels more like a full city than a small estate-focused pocket. Number 4 is Clyde Hill. Located in King County on the east side, Clyde Hill sits near Bellevue, Kirkland, Medina, Yarrow Point, and Hunts Point, placing it right in the middle of one of the Seattle area's most expensive residential corridors. Its median home value is about $2 million per Zillow and Redfin in 2026, and that price point reflects the area's large lots, elevated setting, and proximity to major East Side business centers. Clyde Hill has a walk score of 29, according to Walk Score in 2026, which lines up with its more residential, car-oriented layout, rather than a dense commercial village feel. It ranks here because it is surrounded by some of the region's best-known wealth enclaves, while still standing on its own as a major high-end address. Number 3 is Yarrow Point. This small town in King County had a population of 1,134 at the 2020 census, making it one of the more compact communities in the greater Seattle area. Yarrow Point shares the same median home value figure as Clyde Hill, at about $2 million per Zillow and Redfin in 2026, but its setting on a narrow Lake Washington peninsula gives it a different kind of presence. Its walk score is 12, according to Walk Score in 2026, which tells you this is not a place built around busy retail blocks or dense pedestrian corridors. Yarrow Point ranks ahead of Clyde Hill because the geography itself carries weight. Water nearby, a small town structure, and a location deep inside the East Side's wealth map. Number 2 is Mercer Island. This one is hard to ignore because the whole city sits on an island in the southern portion of Lake Washington, directly between Seattle and the east side. Mercer Island is connected to the mainland on both sides by bridges carrying Interstate 90 and Link Light Rail, giving it a rare position between two major job and cultural centers. The median home value is about $2.34 million per Zillow and Redfin in 2026, which places it above Kirkland, Clyde Hill, and Yarrow Point. With a walk score of 50, according to Walk Score in 2026, Mercer Island also has more of a town center element than some of the smaller residential enclaves, while still being defined by waterfront homes, wooded streets, and island geography. Before we reveal number 1, it is worth pointing out the patterns so far. These are not just expensive places in isolation. They cluster around Lake Washington, and especially around the east side shoreline opposite Seattle. The water matters, the lot sizes matter, the quieter street patterns matter, and so does access to Bellevue, Seattle, and the larger technology economy that shaped so much of the region's modern wealth. That combination is why the highest-ranked places are not all inside Seattle city limits, even though Seattle is the region's cultural anchor. Number 1 is Medina. Located in the east side region of King County, Medina sits on a Lake Washington peninsula opposite Seattle, bordered by Clyde Hill and Hunts Point to the east, with water on its other sides. Its median home value is about $4.59 million per Zillow and Redfin in 2026, putting it far above the other places. Medina is also long associated through public reporting with major tech billionaire estates, including properties tied to Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos, which makes it the clearest answer when people ask where the Seattle area's billionaire real estate is most visible. Its walk score is 33, according to Walk Score in 2026. But the story here is not street-level retail. It is shoreline, privacy, estate-scale property, and a reputation that stretches far beyond the city's small footprint. So, the final ranking is Kirkland at number 5, Clyde Hill at number 4, Yarrow Point at number 3, Mercer Island at number 2, and Medina at number 1. The biggest takeaway is that Greater Seattle's billionaire geography is really an East Side and Lake Washington story, with the highest value pockets forming a chain of waterfront and near waterfront communities. And yes, even if Medina was the expected winner, the climb through these smaller East Side places shows just how concentrated the top end of the market can be. What did we miss? Which Seattle area neighborhood, suburb, or specific waterfront pocket would you have added or ranked higher? If you enjoyed this breakdown, give the video a like and subscribe for more Seattle neighborhood deep dives across the city and the East Side. And tell us what you want next. More luxury real estate, best waterfront neighborhoods, hidden East Side pockets, or a closer look at one specific community.